Good afternoon. It's Thursday, March 5th. It's now 1 o'clock, and I'm calling the regular meeting of the Rancho Mirage City Council and Community Service District, Energy Authority, Housing Authority, Joint Powers Finance Authority, Library, and Observatory and Redevelopment Successor Agency Boards. We are calling this meeting to order right now. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Please join me in saluting our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you take the roll, please?
Councilmember Downs?
I'm here.
Councilmember
Here.
Here. Councilmember Weil?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem O'Keefe?
Here.
Mayor Mulatto?
Here. Next item on the agenda is presentations, and our first presentation is of the Traveling 9/11 Memorial Painting. And here to present this beautiful piece of art is Wendy Moldo. Did I say that correctly? Yes. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, and let me say, Mayor and City Council, thank you so much for providing this opportunity. I encourage everyone to take a moment to reflect on the sacrifices made by our first responders. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be presenting this work of art during our own ongoing war. When there's an emergency, our first responders answer the call without hesitation. They're the ones who show up first, going towards danger when others run away. How do we, the public, thank them? Thus, the story behind the journey of the Traveling 9/11 Memorial Painting. This work of art, as you can see here, has been traveling for 10 years, starting in San Diego. How it began was, as a realtor, I went to an auction that was being held in my real estate office. An artist had painted this painting, and she was commissioned in the beginning to do this to raise money for the families of the fallen firefighters right after 9/11. And it was auctioned off in Chicago. A restaurateur bought the painting. He paid over $26,000 for this painting then, and he hung it in his restaurant. But it made everyone so sad that he was happy with the donation, but he returned it to the artist, who then just put it in her garage and wound up moving from there to California. And then out of nowhere, 10 years ago, she decided to raise money for canine companions and wounded warriors, and the painting, along with many others, came out. I saw it, I bid on it, I bought it. And I took it home, and I hung it on my wall. And I went, this doesn't belong to me. This belongs to the public. But how? How can I do this? And somehow or other, I came up with the idea, what about our first responders? That's what it's all about. It's this bizarre painting with the Twin Towers falling in the background, a tattered flag, a firefighter who knows what he's thinking. It was a horrible experience that none of us must ever, ever forget. And so I started the journey of the Traveling 9/11 Memorial Painting. And it began in Encinitas, California, where I lived. And it went from one fire station to the next fire station to the next, and traveled throughout all the cities, including El Centro in San Diego. But I'm also here in the desert. So 2 years ago, I brought it out here, and it started in La Quinta, and it's gone from La Quinta to Palm Desert to Indio to Palm Springs, and now it's here. And more importantly than anything is the fact that we as a public need to find ways to give back to you and you and you and you, and to our dispatchers and our police departments and all the people who are there when we need them most. And so this will be with the city here for 3 months. And you can put it in a fire station for a while. You can put it in the city hall. You could put it at the police station. It's yours. Whatever you'd like to do with it for 3 months to honor our people. In addition, and I'll be quick, Senator, you had a meeting, there is a book that travels with it. And this has started from the beginning, that shows all the different fire stations it's been in. And at the end of the book, there's an area for comments. So it would be great if any of you have any comments to write them in here so it can continue to travel. I'm aging, so it's getting a little tiresome for me, so it's probably going to go from the desert, hopefully to the New York 9/11 Museum. And if it doesn't, it'll probably be in San Diego's 9/11 Museum. But I thank you so much for accepting this and for finding a way that hopefully our public can come by and say thank you to all of you.
Wendy, thank you for this wonderful gift that you've shared not only with our Coachella Valley, but other communities. We shall never forget. And we revere our public safety agencies with the highest regard and respect for the jobs that they do every day. We're now going to take a photograph with our wonderful fire department. And Wendy, please jump in there.
Yeah, just be on the end.
Oh, you can be in the front center. Yeah, go for it.
No, you guys.
Now,
are-
don't fight over her.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Awesome.
Okay, I hope that's not a call for service. It sounded a little friendly. Please join us. We'll get you in the next photo for the firemen that are in the back. And now, if City Council would step down, and we're going to take a photo with Wendy.
One more? Yeah, we'll take one more.
You guys can come on in the front. Make a room behind you. We're gonna bring the city council.
Do you want some of the firefighters to dais, maybe?
Yeah, we could do that if we want. If someone wants to go towards the back there and get to the top,
You can go
create
back.
another row.
Get like 4 or 5 guys.
We've got a couple of baseball teams here.
Full lineup.
That's right. Please. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
generosity. Please, come back.
I'm-
You're front
I'm
and
there.
center. Come on. Come on,
Wendy,
you're front
you
and
gotta get
center.
in there.
Front and center.
Don't let me block you.
Here, Michael, you want to come in? Are you good?
Thank you.
All righty.
Oh. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so. Jump in. All righty, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
1/11.
Thank you, guys.
I think so. It has a great
Thank you
story.
very much. We great
Thank
graciously.
you. No, I appreciate you guys.
Oh, wrong seat. I don't want the city
I don't want,
attorney's job.
I don't want your job.
And again, we can't thank our public safety, not only our firefighters, but our sheriff's department as well. You know how high we hold you in regard and respect, and we are thankful for the jobs that you do day in, day out, 365. We can't thank you enough. The next presentation is by Friends of the Children of the Coachella Valley. Welcome.
Thank you. Mayor, City Council, thank you very much for having us here today. I'm Randy Florence. I am the chairperson of the board of Friends of the Children Coachella Valley. With me today in the chambers are board member Eric Cunningham, board member Gary Livingston, and our executive director, the hardest working person in the desert, and you're just going to have to believe me on that for a little while, Carrie Schaff. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for having us today. Are we starting the presentation? There we go. Next slide, please. So the Friends of the Children is a national organization that has been in existence for over 33 years, 45 chapters nationally. We just opened up the Coachella Valley chapter a little over a year ago. Up above, you will see our founder, Duncan Campbell, who started the first organization in Portland, and it kind of spread out from there. We have been here again since December of 2024. Part of my job is to do everything I can to beg and cajole people onto the board of directors for us, and one of those people I was able to rope into it was Eric Cunningham.
Yes. If we can jump to the next slide here, we have some statistics. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's the next slide. Friends of the Children is new to the Valley, but itself is about 30 years old, and one of our spokespeople is Simone Biles, who, in the previous slide, if you could see, the kids love Simone. So we try to use her as much as possible. But so that's just to establish that the organization has been around for a while, even though we are very new here in the Valley. These statistics are kind of why we're here in the Valley. I won't read through all of them, but I know one of the things that jumped out to me was 3.7% of Coachella Valley children had to go without eating an entire day due to lack of money for food. So there are a lot, and these are also kind of alarming statistics as you go all the way down. It sort of shows we're invited to, Friends of the Children is invited into any community that they go into. So these statistics are kind of why they do get invited, because there is an opportunity to help out the children that we do help out. And then on the next slide, oh yes, sorry, this is Carrie.
So before I start, I just want to say thank you to CAL FIRE and our firefighters. You guys mean a lot to me, so I just want to say thank you again for your service. Thank you. And we have a lot of young firefighters in our cohort, so someday we'll have to partner and let the kids meet you. So we started about a year and a half ago, and we are partnered right now with Desert Sands Unified and Palm Springs Unified. When we started, we signed MOUs, and we were in two schools within each of those two districts. And part of our commitment to our families is 12 years. We enroll them between the ages of 4 and 6, and we walk alongside them for 12 years. Everybody has to say this.
Number
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. Say it with me. How many years?
12 years.
12 years. I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm saying. 12 years. That's a commitment, right? I haven't been in a relationship for 12 months, let alone 12 years. So it's a huge commitment. So one of the great things is we say no matter what. Obviously, there's times where things are going to get in the way, but we had 2 kids who moved out of the school partners that we were with, and we followed them, and we added 2 more schools within the desert because we're committed to the children and to their families. And I'll talk a little bit more in depth about some of the great activities that we do. So if we could go to the next slide.
These are a little more encouraging statistics because this is the effect that Friends of the Children has on the children. Again, we talked about I'm going to hammer in again, 12 plus years with these children, no matter what. So again, 12 years, if you can believe it, if I can. So that is kind of the commitment that Friends of the Children gives. And it is also with the children who are most at risk in the community. So there is kind of a nomination process, and we make sure that we are helping out the kids who need it the most. And it does work. Again, the statistic that I like to highlight here is 98% of the youth wait to parent until after their teen years, but there are many other outcomes, keeping out of the criminal justice system and then staying in school or the workforce. These are the effects that we've seen in other Friends of the Children chapters. If we can go to the next slide here. Oh, yes. Oh, no, this is.
It's still you,
okay.
but I'll
Oh,
talk about it.
sorry.
I like to talk about our caregivers. So we select the children, but we also provide a wraparound support to the family. So these statistics are really important to show how our engagement isn't just with that child for 12 plus years, it's also with the caregivers. And part of the heavy lift that we do is we make sure that the caregivers are connected to school. Because if kids are struggling at school or not connected, if their parents aren't connected, if their parents aren't going to appointments, then that relationship's not going to work. So we work really hard, and the data shows from all the years, not that we've done it, only a year and a half, but all the years that Friends of the Children has been around for just over 33 years, the stats and the data show you the work that we're doing. Next slide. That's you, Randy.
There was a number that Eric talked about earlier that really was one of the main reasons I joined this organization. It talked about the fact that over 35 years, we have shown that 98% of the children in our organization do not experience early parenthood. So I believe that we're an organization that is not only helping today's children, but we're making generational changes. When you keep a young woman from having a child at 15, you have helped that family for generations. You know, there's a lot of fantastic organizations that are centric to children in town, the Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, CASA. But I wanted to point out that there are differences to our organization that make us unlike any other that serve the children. We talked about the commitment, 12 years. But we also want to clarify and make sure you understand, these are paid mentors. These are people who come out of college, they have a heart for helping children, and this becomes their full-time job. We also start the children early because data has shown that most children by the age of 5, their path is set. So we start looking for children between the ages of 4 and 6. And honestly, as the board chair, one of the areas where I sometimes lose sleep is knowing that we have children on our waiting list that are going to age out before we can help them. And that's just by nature of us gathering the funds so we can build the organization. Jerry?
Next slide, please. So now I get to have fun and just show you really cool pictures. So these are our cohort 3 mentors. So Randy talked about our mentors are not volunteers, they're paid professional mentors. So our first cohort, we have Miss Belinda and Miss Marbella, and then Mr. Q. He's become our local celebrity. The kids just swarm him in public. It's amazing. He has this magnetic personality, and we have what I call 3 magical unicorns. They are incredible, and they're doing really impactful work. Next slide. So this is the fun stuff. So I want to share just a few pictures of the smiles and the outings and the activities. One of our commitments is to find out what that child's spark is. What are they passionate about? We expose them to opportunities they may never have had the opportunity to experience. And I almost gave away a secret. I'll show you on another picture what one of those are. But the gal in the middle, I had the honor of doing child observation. So we get referrals from classroom teachers, school therapists, parents, community members, Riverside County Child Protective Services. Then we go through an intake form. We see what kind of risk factors they have. So is it a single parent household? Do they live below poverty line? What are the risk factors? And we also look at protective factors. What do they have going for them, and see how we can set proper goals. So then we go into the classroom and we observe the child. Is it just a classroom management thing, or are they struggling? Is there social emotional? Are they being bullied on the playground? What's happening? And this little girl in the middle will just always have a special place in my heart. She was one of the first kiddos we observed, and she did not smile. My heart just melted. Every time I saw her, I just saw sadness in her, and I'm not going to cry today, I promise. But to see her smile is more than I could ever expect from this job, because it shows that we're doing something great with her. And it was an honor because Miss Marbella was invited to her princess party at her house. So we work with them in school, we go out into the community and do fun things, but we become family. So they invited Tia Marbella to come to her birthday party, and that's the special princess party that you see in the middle. And then we do really fun outings like go to the date festival. Next slide. So, oh, we have Miss Sassy Pants here. All of our kids have different stories, different strengths, and she is the sass of our crew. We had a great outing at the park, did a lot of team building activities, and on this day, we actually had families there, and that was where we got to meet one another. And that's a really strong part of our program, too, is the families get to connect. They get to lean on each other, learn from each other. And I'm excited to bring our next cohort in, because then we've had families who've been in this program for a year, and they'll get to learn from them. And we do outings, community festivals. We also do a lot in our libraries. Literacy is one of our main focuses right now. We look at the literacy scores, and they're not great. And we're committed, and we partner with the schools to make sure that we invest in the same curriculum. We have tablets for our kids during the summer, and we do a lot of work around literacy. And those hours are 4 hours a week. So we do 2 in the classroom and then 2 hours in the community. So every week, each of these children on the roster get 4 hours of intentional support every single week. Next slide. This is a fun one. I don't know if you've ever heard of Cakes for Kids, but we partner with Cakes for Kids for graduation from kindergarten, birthday parties. Some of our kids have never, ever had a birthday party. And that was really hard for me to understand. So now we really make sure when we know birthdays are coming up, we work with the caregivers and talk about what are you doing for their birthday. We've gone to Pizza Hut. We've had things at our clubhouse. We've had kids come to other kids' birthday parties sick. And I'm like, what are you doing here? You have a temperature. And he's like, I've never been invited to a birthday party. He didn't want to miss it. This was the first birthday he'd ever been invited to. So we're really creating special moments. And there's that smile of that precious little girl again. On every outing, you get to see her smile. And then this young man, he was very shy, was not speaking, was not engaging, and now he is so outgoing. And this is called the Eagle's Nest at his school. If you do great things in the classroom, you earn points and you get to go play a little air hockey. And I grew up on air hockey, so I think that's pretty cool that they have air hockey. Next slide. This was a fun one that I was going to talk about, the first one with the cupcake. Special moments, ice. So this young man had never seen ice or snow before. And he was so fascinated when he was touching his skate. He's like, what is this? He could not understand what was happening with the ice. So these are experiences our kids have never had, and we get the opportunity to walk alongside them and their families. The second picture, we have great community partners that offer support with meals, because some of our kids, if it's summertime or winter break, they don't have the meals because school's out of session. So we really try to commit to healthy food options when they're out of school. And this one was really special. This young man, his mom had just given birth and had a baby 3 days prior to the start of first grade. And you know, bringing your child to school on the first day of school is kind of that rite of passage. Mom couldn't do it. She had this newborn baby. She'd just gotten home from the hospital. So she asked Mr. Q, would you do the honor and bring my child to the first day of school? So we thought that was pretty special that she entrusted us to do that. Next slide. So obviously this work costs money. So I just want to highlight, we have our next cohort coming in. The unique thing about our model is we grow exponentially every year. So we have the 3 mentors right now, and we just made 3 job offers to 3 more mentors, 2 males and 1 female, and we're waiting for all the fun paperwork to come back. So Randy mentioned this wait list. We have a wait list of over 40 children right now. And we don't even need to go into the schools and recruit anymore, because now people know about us and they're putting referrals in before we even ask. So with the 3 mentors that we're hiring, that's 8 kids on their roster. So we will be able to move 24 children off of our 40 deep wait list. We just had our inaugural fundraiser. Hopefully you're all following us on social media. And you'll see the great pictures. We had a super fun event at the Shag House, and we raised about $150,000, so half of our goal. Next slide. That's you.
So these are the rest of the people that I roped onto the board in my time here. But this is the board of directors. We are actively looking for more people who have this same heart for the children that would like to get involved with us and help us drive this organization even further. I joined this organization several years ago. I was the chairperson of the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, and I had been asked to do a little bit of consulting for Friends of the Children as they looked at coming into the area, the valley. The longer that I talked to them, the more I realized that something inside of my heart was opening, and that I believed totally in this program of providing support for 12 years? 12 years? I just wanted to make sure that was the number. For 12 years. That's why I joined this organization. My heart just kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and understanding that there's no geography in this country that needs this more than this one does right now. Eric?
Oh, and then I think our last slide, I believe. Yes, so thank you guys so much for hearing us out. Please do, the ask today is to follow us on social media. You can use the QR code, or you can just find us on Facebook and Instagram. But it's a great way to kind of see the work that we are doing at Friends of the Children here in the Coachella Valley. And again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yes, any questions?
Any questions from the council? No.
How many years?
Oh, yes, we have a question. 12 years. Okay, good, good. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is council member comments or reports, and we'll start off with council member Ephraim Bergelstein.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Two things today. Yesterday, we attended a State of the Healthcare luncheon that was sponsored by the Chamber, and I'm sure other council members are going to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about my takeaways. It was an excellent presentation on the bridge between technology and AI use and healthcare. And I have to commend the Chief Informational Officer and the Chief Medical Officer of Eisenhower about illuminating Eisenhower's approach to incorporating AI into medical care. And I thought that it was just an incredibly illustrative explanation of where AI is a helpful tool in changing the outcomes in healthcare. I think a lot of us hear so much negative about AI and fear about, will I not see a doctor because now I will talk to a screen or a robot or a phone? And it was really impressive how much they emphasized that this would actually enhance the humanity in healthcare rather than detract from it by taking so much of the procedure away from healthcare to allow more of the connection between physicians and healthcare staff and a patient. It was just eye-opening as to what AI and technology can do to, I think, bring healthcare back to what we think healthcare should be and not dramatically change it so that it is a more remote experience. And it gave me probably the best feeling I've had about the use of AI in the world since this whole avalanche and revolution has started. So I just wanted to commend Eisenhower on the messaging yesterday. In transparency, I had a mammogram, and when my report came back, it said enabled or read by AI, and it gave me pause. Was this looked at by the radiologist at all? And when they went through the explanation, I said, oh, that just quelled all my concerns that nobody human looked at my reports, but that actually it was reviewed by AI, which is a more comprehensive way to look at your reporting, and would have brought points forward to a radiologist they may not have caught based on even all of their experience and time. And it immediately calmed my fears about how AI is going to change my personal care. So I thought if I'm having that, there must be other people having those concerns as well. The second point that I wanted to talk about was this weekend, the Confidence Summit was held at the Ritz-Carlton. This was an event near and dear to my heart and the mayor's. Lynn and Mayor Mulatto and I have been involved in this summit's creation for this year's iteration for over about the last year with our marketing department. Number one, I have to commend our marketing department for all the great work they did. I'd also like to commend Few and Robert Shine and his team on throwing a summit that I've heard was an incredible experience for so many people. I, unfortunately, was at the end of having COVID, but I was able to appear remotely, which was very 2020 for a minute, at the summit because in and amongst all the things that are featured, and to go back, this summit focuses on women learning to balance financial literacy, leadership, and wellness and self-care in a modern world when those things feel fleeting and harder to reach. And so that is what the dedication of the summit is. But we specifically were featured on a panel. It was Mina, our planning officer, our mayor, and myself, that was moderated by Sheila, and I'm going to butcher her name, Buchanan?
Yes,
You good?
I think you did pretty well.
Okay. Who's the new general manager for the Ritz-Carlton, talking about the roles of women in government and leadership. And it was, even if I do say so myself, I will give it a 5-star review that we did a really, really good job.
A tall bar to get a 5-star review.
Yeah, I'm not easy to even about myself. And so it was a really great day. And I have heard from other participants how great the other sessions were and how much people got out of the day. The good news is this was the 3rd year of the summit. The good news is there are at least 2 to 3 more years of the summit already committed to at the Ritz. This is a really great endeavor for the city. We are really honored to be included as a partner in this and to have this occur in our city. And I want to thank again the team at the Confidence Summit for everything they did, our marketing team for their heavy lift, and also for allowing me to participate. You and I didn't think I was going to be able to be in the room and not become a super spreader. So that was a really nice bonus. And I will now defer if Lynn and Nina have other comments.
Just an additional comment, Rob Shine in Hightower Financial, Rob created this, few financially empowered women as a result of his own mother, after his father passed away, her lack of financial literacy. Fast forward, he's opened this as an opportunity, and it's been well publicized on CNBC over the years. The phenomenal speakers, yes, there were speakers on financial literacy and how to gain financial security, but it's not just about the finance, it's about the whole person and how health and wellness fit into it, and how you can be productive and share this information with your community. As you know, we toss around ideas. You know, no one teaches you economics and how to run a household in school. They used to have economics, home ec, and what have you back in the day. And I know I've just aged myself, but you know, those are life tools that are lacking. So at any rate, it's interesting that the 2 topics that you spoke of, they're getting back to the whole person, which Eisenhower is doing as well. And I know there's been frustration with the medical community for years. You know, as someone who was an X-ray tech for several years, you spend so much time documenting. Back then, we didn't have the computers to document. We had to document and chart by hand. And then a doctor or a member of the staff, medical staff, would have a laptop or a computer access, but still, you're constantly moving. And the patient wonders if, in fact, you're paying attention to them because you're focusing on the charting. As Eve had mentioned, this AI, and I had the same reservations as everyone else, there is a tool that you mount on the wall, and basically it's a recorder and a transcriber. So you can the doctor can have that one-on-one conversation with you, wanting to know what ails you, what improvements you're having, what the next steps are, and it is all recorded, transcribed, so that the doctor or whoever the healthcare professional is can interact, get you to the next steps, and then move forward appropriately. Doctors have complained over the years that they spend more time documenting than taking care of the patient. So it was very intensive yesterday, and I'd like to bring Eisenhower in to describe their 8 pillars. You know, when people are forming, just like any other program, it's a process. It takes time to unveil that process. But I think the public will have a reassurance and a reaffirmation that the health care is there. I know everybody complains about having to wait in the ER for 4.5, 5 hours, but people don't understand when somebody comes into an ER and the staff is triaging, and that's where I used to work, was ER and surgery for radiology. The thing is you have to dispatch that lab tech or maybe respiratory therapy for the blood gases or to get a chest x-ray or what have you. It would take an extraordinary amount of time to process those tests so that you can get the results to make a bona fide diagnosis. It doesn't happen quickly. It's frustrating, I know it. I mean, when I left the medical field 20 years ago, I'd say 4.5-hour wait in the ER, and I'd been on that side. And it can be challenging and lengthier now. So at any rate, Eisenhower and the other medical institutions that participated yesterday are addressing those factors. And it'll be nice to be able to have a public unveiling, if you will. Thank you, Eve.
Thank you. That was the end of my
I'm
comments.
sorry. I'm going to try to minimize my comments when it's my turn. Sorry about that. Councilmember Steve Downs.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. And I, too, want to talk about the state of health care that our chamber put on yesterday at the Omni and comments from Eisenhower executives about current and future conditions in healthcare in our city and their plans for the future. Some highlights that stood out to me were, number one, Ken Wheat, the chief operating officer, told us about patient visits to Eisenhower's clinics over the past 5 years. 5 years ago, the number of patient visits to Eisenhower clinics was 800,000. This year, it's 1.2 million. 1.2 million patient visits this year. That's a 50% increase in the past 5 years. Now, I don't think that the population of the city of Rancho Mirage has increased 50% in the last 5 years. I don't think the population of the Coachella Valley has increased by 50% in the past 5 years, but it's pretty clear that there has been a significant increase in the population of this valley who want to go to Eisenhower for their health care. And it seems to me that there are a couple of reasons why. Eisenhower is consistently rated highly. For example, according to the U.S. News and World Report, it's rated number 2, the number 2 hospital in the Inland Empire, number 13 in the state of California, and among the top 13% of hospitals nationwide. Eisenhower also has a 5-star rated, the top rating from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. So what's Eisenhower doing to keep pace to this immense growth in the population count of those visiting Eisenhower's clinics? Well, over the next 3 years, Eisenhower will spend $100 million per year, more than $100 million per year in capital improvements. And just this year alone, this next year alone, Eisenhower will develop 110,000 square feet of new clinic space. Now, I also want to speak to some social media comments that many of us noticed in the past week or so leading up to the state of healthcare yesterday. Most of those social media comments were pretty good and pretty positive about Eisenhower, but there were a few negative comments as well. Most of those negative comments had to do with things like, I just had to wait way too long to see my doctor and I don't like it and I blame Eisenhower for it. Well, it doesn't take much of an internet research to figure out that this problem of fewer doctors than we need is not a Rancho Mirage problem. It is not an Eisenhower problem. It is not a Coachella Valley problem. It is a systemic, nationwide problem. And most of the articles that I've read recently suggest that over the coming years there is about the shortage in not just doctors, but in medical service professionals will measure in the tens of thousands. So residents of this city often ask us, what can we do? And we ask ourselves, what can we do to help improve the situation for Eisenhower, to help them hire more medical professionals? There are a couple of things that Mayor Mulatto mentioned yesterday. I'll mention them again today. She mentioned them yesterday in her comments at the State of the Healthcare event. So first, we can help Eisenhower recruit and retain employees. A good many of the employees at Eisenhower are of child-rearing years, and they have children. So what Eisenhower asked us to do, and what we did last year, we made a $2 million grant to help Eisenhower build a child care center on campus at Eisenhower Health. That's going to help Eisenhower recruit and retain more medical professionals. By recruiting and retaining more medical professionals, professionals, they're going to do a better job of providing great health care to every one of us in this room and in this city. Here's a second thing that we've done over the last couple of years to try to help Eisenhower, as well as other employers in our city. It has to do with affordable housing and workforce housing. Today, we're building about 4 or 5 new communities. We're helping to build about 4 or 5 new affordable housing communities around the city. Ground has been broken up near a dog park, and affordable housing is being built in the city today. And that will help Eisenhower by providing workforce close by, as opposed to having to attract workforce from miles and miles away. Eisenhower and our other employers will have access to workforce through workforce housing here in the city. So those 2 things we are accomplishing. We're doing a great job of it. Thank you, Mayor, for mentioning that yesterday. I think that I'm sometimes reminded of something that President Kennedy said some years ago. He said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Maybe we ought to ask what we can do to help Eisenhower do a better job of providing health care for all of us. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And I'd be remiss in not mentioning that in addition to Eisenhower, there was Desert Healthcare, or Oasis, and also the Desert Hospital and Kaiser that all attended this event yesterday. So it was very well represented, as it should be, because not everyone gets their health care at Eisenhower Medical Center. And all of those institutions provide, do their best to pursue excellence in healthcare delivery. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to begin my remarks by expressing my deep gratitude and thanks to the women and men in our military for their service. And I'd like to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice during this difficult time. I'm also grateful to our local law enforcement officers and to CAL FIRE personnel for helping keep our city safe. Thank you. We live in an exceptional city that is well run and it's prosperous. But we also realize there are folks in our city that need assistance, and that's why I am proud that we help people who are in need. Just this past month, we helped find Food Bank, which is crucial for our residents who have food insecurity. We helped DAP Health, which provides health care for thousands of people who have health care insecurity. We worked with Tools for Tomorrow, which provides free after-school arts and literacy programs for young children who would otherwise have no exposure to the arts. Mission Hills hosted the Tunnel to Towers golf tournament, and that organization provides mortgage-free homes to homeless veterans and Gold Star and fallen first responder families with young children. And of course, as Steve Downs just said, our city has approved more than 800 affordable housing units to be built for workforce housing and also for people who have housing insecurity. And yet, Rancho Mirage is also the cultural center of the Coachella Valley. We offer opportunities that are available nowhere else. Our famous library and observatory and the wonderful Writers Festival, which is now available to watch for free on YouTube. We have Sunnylands. We have the Preservation Mirage programs, the Children's Discovery Museum, the Tolerance Education Center, and soon we will have the Global Wildlife Discovery Museum. And our wonderful Chamber of Commerce presented, as everyone has mentioned, the superb Medical Summit yesterday, which presented cutting-edge medical information. And that's appropriate here because Rancho Mirage is also the center for outstanding medical care in the Coachella Valley. And there's more, so circle your calendars. Because coming up, I hope to see everyone at Acrisure Arena this Sunday for Rancho Mirage Day with the Firebirds. And you don't want to miss Desert Theatrical production of Chicago, which is a wonderful production, beginning next Friday, running through Sunday at the beautiful Rancho Mirage Amphitheater. And finally, something close to my heart. On Friday, March 13th, we will help our furry friends in the shelters. They will find new, loving homes. So please join us at the Community Park and Farmers Market, where we will have the second Rancho Mirage Rescue Rally and Adoption Fair. There will be a lot of wonderful dogs to adopt. There will be free vaccinations and free medical treatments and free microchipping. Then the following Friday, March 20th, we will have free spaying and neutering services also at the community park. Look, we all know that having a pet makes you a better human being. We also know that the New York Times this week just reported it also makes you a healthier human being. So, if you're ready for a new lifelong friend, please join me at the Rancho Mirage Rescue Rally next Friday. It will be a lot of fun. Rancho Mirage is a great place to be. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. I bet you thought I forgot about you. Councilmember Ted Weil.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I, too, want to comment about the Eisenhower presentation yesterday. I thought it was phenomenal. Anyone that attended had to be impressed. I want to mention in particular that over the past year, Eisenhower has recruited 47 new physicians to serve the growing needs of the Coachella Valley. 16 of these graduates of their own medical education programs who are choosing to begin their career here, a powerful investment in the future of healthcare in our own community. They have strengthened several key specialties, including orthopedics, cardiology, neurology, dermatology, urology, oncology, psychiatry, ophthalmology, and primary care. In particular, the expansion of behavioral health services and the continued focus on primary care ensure patients have access to both specialized and preventative care close to home. This progress reflects strong leadership, thoughtful planning, and a clear commitment to becoming a world-class health system. On behalf of the Council, I want to commend Eisenhower Health for its dedication to expanding access to high-quality care for our residents, and to thank the physicians, staff, and generous donors who make this growth possible. One other important note that I'd like to talk about is that in the last week, Visit Greater Palm Springs updated us as to the activities that are going on in tourism, which the VGPS continues to deliver real, measurable benefits for Rancho Mirage, generating roughly $1 billion in local economic impact, with visitors spending about $2.2 million per day in our city, supporting thousands of local jobs and increasing spending by nearly 7% year over year. Obviously, this is the reason that we need affordable housing, because we need the staff to be able to take advantage of this great influx that's occurring in our city. VGPS is sharpening its focus on growing off-peak visitation through targeted marketing, expanded air service, group business, and sports tourism, supported by strong regional air service and load factors that keep our destination competitive. We also heard how these efforts connect to broader economic development goals, including regional collaboration to diversify the economy, advance workforce development, and support projects like the indoor sports facility and the Valley-wide economic development strategy. I want to highlight that Rancho Mirage continually invests to help our resorts and restaurants participate in regional programs like the Summer Chill Co-op Media Buy and Restaurant Week. My congratulations to our marketing department, who make a significant contribution to this area. We have delivered a strong return for our community, and it's our objective to continue that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Council Member. In addition to our biweekly council meetings, City Council members sit on 5 outside agencies as a direct delegate and 5 other agencies as an alternate. And one of the agencies that I sit on is Sunline Transit. And when I joined the council, I had comments, and grateful for those comments from members of the public saying, why don't we have bus routes connecting Date Palm Drive down Gerald Ford to Bob Hope or Monterey? And why is it that ridership is limited and available in Rancho Mirage? So I took those comments to Sunline, and I'm very, very pleased that over the last couple of years, with a new CEO who's very proactive, very preemptive, listens to the public's comments, listens to her board of directors, Sunline launched in January. It's called Sunline Rides Imagined. It is a survey, and you can find that survey on sunline.org/rides reimagined. And you can complete the survey online. If you need a survey, they have them available at Sunline. We also have them available here at Rancho Mirage. But let me share with you what the board and operations are doing right now. They're responding to a shifting population and its patterns and new development, because during COVID, ridership, of course, diminished, but the population also grew. So we were hearing from the public that ridership was not getting to where the people needed to be. And so what they're doing is they want to improve access to jobs, schools, healthcare, and everyday destinations, using available resources more effectively to provide reliable services, creating a more convenient and user-friendly experience for riders. And like many transit systems, not just here in the Riverside County or Inland Empire, but nationwide, transit systems are reevaluating how they help people get from one place to another, how they can get to work on time, how they can make their appointments. So what we're doing is we're asking the public's input. To date, we have 1,600 surveys, a little over 1,600 surveys that have been returned by the members of the public. The CEO of Sunline, Mona Babauto, and her staff have gone to every city council chamber. They've met with the city council and with their presentations. They've gone to Jocelyn Senior Center, and they will continue meeting, going to mobile home parks, gathering this input so that the board can make important decisions to enable and to assist our staff at Sunline, to provide the ridership that's needed. So if in fact you'd like to have input, you have until March 11th to complete that survey. Maybe if you don't have access to get to City Halls, to Sunline, or even have a computer, maybe give Sunline a call and someone can help you with filling out that ridership survey. To those that have given comments and to help us to get to this point, I'm most grateful. All right, moving on. City manager's comments.
None today. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Very good. So we'll move right on to the consent agenda, and I'll let you lead that charge.
Thank you. The council has 7 items on the consent calendar for consideration, items 5A through 5G. Item 5A is to waive the full reading of all ordinances introduced or adopted. Item 5B is to approve the February 19th, 2026 regular city council meeting minutes. Items 5C is the February 20th, 2026 special city council meeting minutes. Item 5D is the February 24th, 2026 special city council study session meeting minutes. Item 5E is to adopt resolution number 2026 next in order, establishing the Electrify Rancho Mirage program. Item 5F are contracts, and 5G are demands. Before we go to council comments or questions, I will ask the city clerk to take any public comment on the consent calendar.
Thank you. I did not receive any speaker cards. Is there anyone who would like to speak on something on the consent calendar? No speakers.
Are there any council comments?
I'll move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 6, public hearings, and I'm going to call on the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Fromberg Edelstein will be recusing herself from this item due to a potential conflict of interest due to her firm's business relationship with Linea. As such, she'll step away from the dais and leave the chambers until council takes final action, in which time she'll be asked to resume for the next item on the agenda.
Very good. And Joy Tsai, our senior planner, is reporting on this item.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good afternoon, mayors, members of the City Council. For your consideration today is a preliminary development plan and a street name change request for the Linea North project. The applicant is seeking approval for the construction of 9 semi-custom single-family dwellings and a street name change from Bella Via Court North to Via Linea. This street name change will not affect addresses outside of the project boundaries. The project site is approximately 4.4 acres and is located on the north side of Ginger Rogers Road, east of Bob Hope Drive. It is surrounded by existing single-family dwellings. Linea North is proposed to be an extension of the original Linea project located opposite Ginger Rogers Road with a similar tone and concept. So the original 18-lot subdivision dates back to 2008. The state extensions kept the map active until its recordation in 2018. The subdivision is separated by Ginger Rogers Road, and the two halves were sold to different entities. The developer acquired and began development of the south half in 2023, and a different entity completed the subdivision improvements for the north half in June of 2024. The developer acquired the north half last year and is proposing to construct the extension. On this slide, you can see the completed entry to the north. All essential utilities, including electrical services, are confirmed ready. This slide here illustrates the overall site plan, which features 7 distinct residential concepts ranging from 5,000 to 6,300 square feet over 9 lots. To provide architectural variety across those 9 lots, the applicant utilized mirrored floor plans and varying elevations for lots 2, 3, 8, and 9. Along the western edge of the project, lots 6 through 8, these designs include detached guest homes. The site is complies with the city development standards, adhering to the 25-foot front and rear setbacks and remaining well under the 30% lot coverage limit. The exterior palette is designed to create a cohesive yet varied streetscape. As this slide illustrates through several front elevations, the designs utilize a range of neutral tones and textured masonry, ensuring that no 2 adjacent homes share the same combination of materials. The colors range from a soft off-whites and taupes to mid-tone grays and are anchored by dark brown frames and light-toned roofing to reduce visual heaviness. While these materials are unified, the non-repeating combinations provide distinct visual interests for each residence. Finally, all the homes are single-story with a maximum height of 17.5 feet, which is well below the city's 20-foot height limit. While there are 7 residential concepts available, we're going to be highlighting 2 plans today for today's presentation. Generally, these homes feature expansive open concept living areas designed to emphasize the indoor and outdoor connection with private master suites and flexible media and office rooms. On the side, you see is Lot 1, which is tailored to capture the southern mountain views. To maximize the lot's orientation, the pool is positioned in the front yard area and is complemented by a covered outdoor space in the rear. This plan maintains a low profile with a maximum height of 16 feet from grade. On this side is Lot 9, which is situated adjacent to the landscape retention basin along Ginger Rogers Road and across from Lot 1. This concept utilizes an integrated 12-foot tall architectural wall to screen the private outdoor areas. In terms of scale, Lot 9 on all the homes along the western edge is adjacent to the Echo development, and these homes are capped at a maximum height of 14.5 feet, which ensures a compatible transition to those existing residents. As part of this submittal, front yard landscaping is provided. The landscaping carries the lineal architectural theme forward and utilizes drought-tolerant plantings like mulga, olive, and palo verde trees. Each palette will also have alternate selections to choose from for visual diversity. The project has been fully reviewed for CEQA compliance. A mitigated negative declaration, or MND, was originally approved and adopted in 2008 for both the tentative track map and the preliminary development plan. While the tentative map's expiration was automatically extended by the state, the original preliminary development plan approval was expired. This current proposal remains consistent with the previously adopted MND. The updates presented today, specifically refreshed architecture and landscaping, represent minor revisions that do not trigger new environmental impacts. In addition, this proposed street name change is exempt from CEQA under the common sense exemption. Therefore, no further environmental review is required. As a part of the project review, staff routed the project for comments to city departments and responsible agencies, and any applicable comments we received have been incorporated into conditions of approval. All utilities are expected to provide service to the project. Staff did not receive any comments for the city council. The public comments that were received for the planning commission have already been included in the agenda packet. On February 12th, the planning commission recommended approval of the project, recommending that the city council approve the listed actions on these slide. This concludes staff presentation, and I'd be happy to address any questions the council may have. Thank you.
Are there any questions from council? Any public comments?
I did not receive any speaker cards. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to provide public testimony on public hearing item 6A? No speakers.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
I move that the council, 1, find the preliminary development plan case number PDP 25-004 is within the scope of the previously adopted mitigated negative declaration pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA guidelines, section 15162, find that the street name change case number STN 25-0001 is exempt pursuant to CEQA guidelines, section 15061B3, and authorize the filing of a notice of determination. And 2, approve the street name change case number STN 25-0001 to change the private street name from Belavia Court North to Via Linea based on the content and findings in the staff report. And 3, approve preliminary development plan case number PDP 25-0004
subject to the conditions of approval and based on the content and findings in the staff report.
I'll second that.
Please vote.
Motion carries 4-0 with Councilmember Fromberg Edelstein recused.
Next item on the agenda, on our action calendar, intention to annex territory comprising 5.06 acres to Community Facilities District Number 1 in connection with tentative parcel map number 38979, assessor parcel number 685280007 and 685280008. We have Jacob De La Cruz, financial analyst, reporting on this item.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, Council. This item is the first step in the city's annexation process for developments within the city's jurisdiction. The second and final step is planned to be considered at the April 16th council meeting. The territory proposed for annexation is located approximately 1,450 feet north of Country Club Drive on the east side of Vista del Sol. It is comprised of 2 parcels totaling approximately 5.06 acres. Tentative parcel map TPM 38978 was originally approved by the Planning Commission on September 12, 2024, with condition of approval number 14 requiring that the territory be annexed into Community Facilities District Number 1. In accordance with the condition of approval, the owner of the annexed territory submitted a petition for annexation requesting that the City Council initiate proceedings to annex the territory into CFD1 and provide for expedited approval of the annexation and the levy of the special tax. Upon approval of the resolution, the city will be able to accept the petition submitted by the owner for annexation, consent to the levy upon the annexed territory, allow for the shortening of the time for the special election to expedite the annexation, accept and preliminarily approve the annexation map and direct the city clerk to record the map, and establish the date and time of the public hearing of the annexation of the territory. That concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Does council have any questions? Are there any public comments?
I did not receive any speaker cards. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this item? No speakers.
Do we have a motion?
I'll do the motion that we adopt resolution number 2026 next in order, declaring the city's intention to annex territory to Community Facilities District Number 1 and to levy a special tax therein for additional police and fire services. Preliminarily approve a map of the area proposed to be annexed and schedule a public hearing to consider the annexation and the levy of the special tax for annexation number 205.
Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Next item, 7B, intention to annex territory comprising 5.06 acres to Community Facilities District Number 1 in connection with tentative parcel map number 39233. That's the address, physical address is 72111 Clancy Lane. And Jacob De La Cruz will be also reporting on this.
Thank you again, Mayor. This item is the first step in the city's annexation process for developments within the city's jurisdiction. The second and final step is planned to be considered at the April 16th council meeting. The territory proposed for annexation is located at 72111 Clancy Lane and is comprised of 1 parcel totaling approximately 5.06 acres. Tentative parcel map TPM 39233 was originally approved by the Planning Commission on December 12, 2025, with condition of approval number 15 requiring that the territory be annexed into CFD1. In accordance with the condition of approval, the owner of the annexed territory submitted a petition for annexation requesting that the City Council initiate proceedings to annex the territory into CFD1 and provide for expedited approval of the annexation and the levy of the special tax. Upon approval of the resolution, the city will be able to accept the owner's petition for annexation, consent to the levy upon the annexed territory, allow for the shortening of the time for the special election to expedite the annexation, accept and preliminarily approve the annexation map and direct the city clerk to record the map, and establish the date and time of the public hearing on the annexation of the territory. That concludes my presentation.
Madam Clerk, are there any public comments?
No, I did not receive any speaker cards. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this item? No speakers.
Are there any council comments? Do we have a motion?
I'll make this motion too. This is so exciting today, these annexations. So I move that we adopt resolution number 2026 next in order, declaring the city's intention to annex territory to Community Facilities District Number 1 and to levy a special tax therein for additional police and fire services, preliminarily approve a map of the area proposed to be annexed, and schedule a public hearing to consider the annexation of the levy of special tax for annexation number 206.
I'll second that.
Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Great. Next item on the agenda is non-agenda public comments. This is an opportunity for the public to speak on issues that are not on the agenda for a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Madam Clerk?
Thank you. The first speaker is Christian Donovan.
Good afternoon, Christian Donovan, President. I'd like to revisit the city's continued use of the Flock Safety Automated License Plate Reader System and raise concerns about technological capability, oversight, and documented misuse. It's often presented as a tool that reads license plates to assist investigations. But if you review Flock's own U.S. patent number 11,416,545, you see that the platform is designed to do much more than plate reading. The patent describes systems that use machine learning and neural networks to identify and classify people and vehicles, extract attributes such as clothing, height, gait, and other visual markers, and create searchable records that associate those observations across multiple camera locations and over time. I am not asserting that these advanced features are currently enabled here, but I am asserting that when this technology is adopted, it is important to understand not just what it does today, but what it is capable of doing and what guardrails are in place before that capability expands. This matters because data collection without clear oversights invites misuse. In Riverside County, for example, reporting has shown that deputies maintained hundreds of custom license plate tracking lists with vague or missing justifications contrary to policy. And there was a documented case last year in which Riverside County Sheriff's Deputy Eric Piscatella pleaded guilty to misusing law enforcement databases after accessing records to stalk a woman he met socially in Coachella. While a department spokesperson declined to answer whether ALPR was used to stalk the victim, Piscatella did repeatedly run her plates through RCSD and state databases without legal cause. This incident illustrates how access to law enforcement data systems can be misused when documentation, audit controls, and oversight are insufficient. This is not an abstract concern. California law already requires transparency around these systems. Agencies operating ALPR must publish usage and privacy policies, define retention and deletion timelines, and disclose data sharing practices. But transparency policies alone do not ensure compliance or safeguard against misuse unless there are clear enforcement mechanisms and public accountability. So I respectfully request clarity on key governance questions. Is Rancho Mirage the ALPR operator, or is the system operated by the county sheriff on the city's behalf? Does Rancho Mirage participate in any shared or national ALPR data lookup network? What specific features of the system are enabled here and which are contractually prohibited? What are the retention and deletion rules and how are they verified? Are all searches logged and subject to periodic independent audit? And can any federal agencies directly or indirectly access this data? Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
Patrick Lowry.
Stand here just for a minute. I'm going to see if I can reach you. I have a gift for you. Since I'll be seeing you. See if I can reach you. Do you mind?
Thank you, Mr. Lowry.
Stand. You play hockey. This is when you watch a game, you see the referee is always bringing the puck on the ice. That it takes and I do look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I'm proud of the fact that's Rancho Mirage, no matter what I say to you. Brought you this as well. Left 5 copies with Ms. Ramos. This will give you some insight into the Desert Healthcare. It's important, and it's well done. Now, let me talk for a minute about Mr. Downs' comments, which I think he directed toward me last meeting, in regard to accountability, having a mayor, and so forth. I believe in accountability. We need a mayor. I don't think we need a 4-year mayor, but we need a 2-year mayor. We need someone to hold accountable for what goes on in the city. Now, for some fun news, Mr. Wild, this to make you happy. March is a great month for animals. Cuddle Your Kitten Day is in March. Not that cat I've got. Respect Your Cat Day is in March. National Puppy Day is in March. But what is the most important thing about March? Women's History Month. Incredibly important. Okay? Now I want to read something here. I don't know that we disagree about Kaiser, but we see Kaiser differently. And I think my view is better than yours because I look at things critically. I've told you before, there's only one God somewhere, and they're not at Kaiser. At Eisenhower. I want to read the judge's notes from the settlement with Loftus in June of 2025. Conduct in this case is replete with examples of actions it took for years that run directly contrary to quality patient care. Should bother you. Now, why has Kaiser gotten better? I'm going to take a wild guess. First of all, Newsweek rates them a lot differently than U.S. News and World Report. Take a look. That's what I'm saying to you folks. Look around. Think about things. Be critical. Okay. I think it's because of the relationship with Kaiser. Kaiser uses them as their hospital out here. And Kaiser's demanding. Kaiser sends out questionnaires to me. I'm a Kaiser patient, client, whatever you would call me, all the time asking what my care was like at Eisenhower. I think that's the improvement. Culture, culture, culture. I don't know if the right culture is there. Now let's talk just for a minute. Oh gosh, I've only got a second. Children's Care Center at Eisenhower. You know how much I oppose that? Because they should have paid for it, not that they shouldn't have it. How's it going? Anybody know? I didn't think so. Okay. Love you guys. Take care. See you at the hockey game. Remember, it's frozen. Hurts like hell no matter what you have on when you block it. Okay?
Thank you.
Wally Melendez?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. So, so we're attacking Iran, and Iran is attacking U.S. military bases in the Middle East, and they're attacking Israel. Everything's going to hell. Okay, so be careful with mice and rats and insects, feces and urine. They contain bacteria and viruses. I believe that pretty soon we're going to have the sand blowing out in this region, and people catch colds. People catch colds, and they don't know what it is. They will say colds. Colds are caused by bacteria and viruses. And like I'm saying, mouse and rats and insects, feces and urines mix with the sand, and when the wind blows, the people that are susceptible catch colds. Okay. That's one lesson. And I am susceptible to bacteria and viruses and insects, feces, and viruses. People that have rhinitis. I don't guess you all know what rhinitis is. Rhinitis is when the nose passes whatever. That's rhinitis. Some people have perennial rhinitis. In case you all don't know what perennial means, that means year round. So be careful.
Thank you.
Javier Enriquez.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, council members, city council, and staff. My name is Javier Enriquez. I'm a senior public affairs specialist for South Coast Air Quality Management District. On behalf of South Coast AQMD, I have the following announcement. South Coast Air Quality Management District offers the Commercial Electric Lawn and Garden Equipment Exchange Program, which provides up to 85% off new zero-emission battery electric commercial lawn and garden equipment when older gasoline or diesel-powered equipment is exchanged. This program is available to commercial gardeners and landscapers, as well as local government agencies, school districts, and colleges, and nonprofit organizations operating within Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino counties, to include Coachella Valley. The purpose of this program is to improve local air quality and reduce harmful emissions by replacing older, polluting equipment with clean electric alternatives. Gas and diesel-powered lawn equipment contributes to air pollution and noise in our neighborhoods, and transitioning to electric equipment helps protect public health while creating quieter, cleaner communities. The program operates through a voucher-based system, meaning the incentive is applied directly at the point of sale through participating retailers. For each new battery electric piece of equipment, participants exchange one operable gasoline or diesel-powered commercial unit. All equipment must be new, and refurbished or reconditioned equipment is not eligible. Eligible equipment includes trimmers, leaf blowers, chainsaws, walk-behind lawnmowers, and ride-on stand-on mowers. Incentive amounts can be significant, up to $700 for small handheld equipment, $1,400 for leaf blowers, $1,500 for walk-behind mowers, and up to $15,000 for ride-on or stand-on mowers, depending on the equipment. Getting started is simple. Interested participants can visit a participating retailer, bring in their old gasoline or diesel-powered commercial equipment for exchange, and receive the discount instantly at the checkout. For full program details, required equipment, documents, and a list of participating retailers, please visit www.aqmd.gov/lawn and garden. I will be providing this information and flyer to the city clerk. Honorable Mayor, council members, thank you for your time and opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Enriquez.
Alejandro Cruz.
Can I hand out some material, or I would love for to pass this down like this way and then have it end up at the traffic manager. If you guys can take a look. It's just one set, I think. Are we able to restart the time, or because it's good afternoon? Alex Cruz, resident of Coachella Valley for 22 years, here to talk about the most deadly intersection in your city right outside of this building, Fred Waring and 111. Again, I ask, how many more people have to die here for you to do something?
There is so much that I can say about the most recent death and the way this problem has been handled by the people who have been on this dais the longest, but I'm going to give it time because I'm hoping that you guys are working on something. Hopefully you see now how many people agree this must be fixed. All eyes are on you right now to see if you are going to do something besides enforcement, because the road design has already been called out on the news, and enforcement is not going to do anything for us. It's not preventing deaths. It's just not a solution to this problem. Please don't keep passing this issue down to your predecessors. I already offered solutions that are very cost effective, like a road diet on the 111. But instead of major reconstruction removing that unnecessary third lane, all we need is a paint to make it a bus lane. That still counts as a road diet, even though we are keeping the infrastructure of that lane. And this is a good thing because paint is super cheap. That's literally all you need to save lives right now. So when the traffic engineer says we have no money for traffic safety projects, I'm confused because I offered that cheap solution many times. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You guys have jurisdiction over this highway. Do you realize how lucky we are for that? Cities like Malibu and other coastal communities with denser populations do not have this authority, and they would seize the opportunity you have right now to fulfill their public safety commitments. So again, what we must do is complete the other two crosswalks, get rid of the turning slip lanes. That's how we fix that intersection. And a road diet is how we fix the 111. We can make the bus lanes green or blue. They will look beautiful and they will make your city look like a utopia. That's what we call ourselves, right? The news even mentioned it. The fact that all of this is just steps away from City Hall is the crazy part about this. It's almost as if you're watching the crashes out your office window and just shrugging it off. We're not saying it's your fault, but you guys have a duty to undo the mistakes of your predecessors. And the way that intersection was designed was a mistake. So I really hope you guys can do the right thing and take public safety more seriously, keeping your campaign promises on public safety, and take preventative measures for traffic safety. Let's save lives now, please. It is a time for this. I handed you out a rendering of what this intersection can look like. Please take a look at it. I also handed you a rendering of what the bus lanes can look like. Thank you, and rest in peace to Alicia Miller.
Susan Ragsdale.
Thank you for your comments.
Well, happy March to everybody. I'm really pleased to see you. I want to say before I begin that I would never be in this position if it weren't, I would call it an unwelcome position, which unfortunately the people right here I'm speaking to have put me in. I would have much preferred to have done something beautiful for the city council, for sure. Yeah, it's not my thing, but I don't know. Somehow I got chosen for this. Since March 2019, for 6 years, I've endured Rancho Mirage hell across the board, from psychotic tenants to the criminal property manager to the recklessly incompetent and obscenely cruel city manager. To the reprehensible city council, I have been sadistically persecuted, brutally abused, ruthlessly scapegoated and punished, defrauded of my home, quote, tarred and feathered, and, quote, burned at the stake by the city council, the city of Rancho Mirage. Hello, the city. You represent this city. All right. These self-righteous public servants, in quotes, have cluelessly laughed about all their intentional, punishing, heinous crimes against me, an innocent elderly woman for whom you all have a duty of care, for sure. At City Hall, I have not experienced empathy or compassion. They illegally slander me on the dais. You'll remember that. 3 minutes of slander. Anyway. All right. That was hard. Without justification, they have ordered the police, Chris over here, to forcibly remove me from the chamber. These hypocrites salute the flag all the time, repeating with liberty and justice for all. I have not received justice for from any of you. Character assassination is the means by which I have been murdered in slow motion. This is not an exaggeration at all. You can see, you might have watched my decline since I've been coming here. Against me, the City Council is guilty of 3 long-term federal crimes. This includes 2 counts of fraud. One is for gross negligence because culpa lata dolo ociperator. I practice this. Gross neglect can be equivalent to fraud. This is it. You're totally grossly neglecting me and what I'm telling you, which is extremely serious. The second count of fraud is for the malicious prosecution of my wrongful eviction regarding the serious offense. I was framed with 14 false allegations of harassment when, in fact, I was the victim being abused for almost 4 years continually. I was victimized.
Mrs. Ragsdale, your time has expired.
I am done. You don't have to interrupt me. I'm watching the time. Please be kind. Hello? You don't need to interrupt me. Honestly, that's terribly rude.
That was the last speaker card. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on something that is not on today's agenda? That was the last speaker.
We will now adjourn to closed session.
Before we do, Mayor, if I may, we'll be convening in a closed session for the item listed before you on the agenda as 9A, conference with legal counsel, potential initiation of litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4, one potential case.
And we will recess to closed session. All right, we have returned from closed session. I will let the city attorney report.
Thank you, Mayor. No reportable action taken today.
Very good. We will adjourn this meeting at 15:44 hours. 3:44.